today's show, the list is right on the money.
So net, you're typically ahead in that scenario.
We'll help you avoid fees,
Well, that's ridiculous. I'm going to walk away and go someplace else.
understand digital currencies,
Crypto has a lot of volatility, and that is because it's a newer technology.
and go behind the scenes of the most expensive TV show ever made.
Each of us must decide who we shall be.
We're right on the money. It's your life, it's your list, and it starts right now.
Hey everyone, I'm Christina Guerrero.
And I'm Jimmy Rhodes. And rising inflation, interest rates, crazy stock market, all of that has the economy front and center in our minds these days.
So today we are right on the money with a special show looking at ways to save it, spend it, and understand it a little better.
So let's start with something a lot of people have a lot of questions about, cryptocurrency.
It seems like it's in the headlines every day for all kinds of reasons. And Jimmy, I'm going to be honest, I'm still trying to figure it out.
Well, you're not alone. So catching up to crypto, it's our featured story at the top of the list. We've been hearing about crypto since at least the aughts, and yet most Americans still seem utterly confused by it.
People are afraid of crypto.
Crypto expert Dan Hollings co-wrote the book One Coin, Two Coin, What Coin? Bitcoin.
This is a book that's written for adults, but it makes crypto as easy as child's play.
We think crypto is all exotic, but the fact is we've seen this movie before. We're running down what's not new about crypto. For starters, new markets have always been volatile.
Crypto has a lot of volatility, and that is because it's a newer industry.
In the early 1900s, there were literally hundreds of car companies. Remember the Acme Type 15 touring car? Neither does anyone else because it only came out in 1906. So when you see a bazillion different kinds of crypto and the numbers are all over the place, relax. This is how new technologies take hold.
There are times when people are buying it like crazy, and there are times that people freak out and they're selling it. But it is really like almost all other markets.
And just like those hundreds of car companies winnowed down to the big three, so will crypto sort itself out into recognizable, enduring brands. And something in your wallet right now is a lot like crypto. The upgrade from strip to chip on your credit cards.
When you do a transaction using Visa or MasterCard, those are currently being settled and transacted over the blockchain.
Those old magnetic strips contain the routing numbers for your account. So if it was hacked, thieves had all the info they needed to rip you off. But the credit card chips create an individual token or digital record for every transaction, which then goes into an online ledger. So if you're using a credit card with a chip,
In a way, you're kind of already doing crypto and you don't know it.
now, one of the weird things about crypto is that it's supposed to be money, but people seem to be investing in it, not using it to buy stuff. But remember, people invest in currencies all the time.
Some crypto, like Bitcoin, is a store of value, which is kind of like gold. And people invest in gold, people invest in Bitcoin with the hopes that it'll go up in value.
And people are using crypto to buy stuff too.
There's also crypto, which is used as a utility. This is more like Ethereum. There's insurance, there's medical, there's art, there's music, there's sports, there's tickets. All of these things that we do every day.
Finally, as with any other currency or exchange that's ever existed, remember, investing involves the risk of loss, so
Take baby steps, do everything small. When you have a question, find somebody, a friend or an expert that you trust that you can reach out to and learn more. This isn't about get rich quick.
you can even use an age-old investment method to get started.
People often say, Dan, should I buy Bitcoin now because it's down, or should I buy Bitcoin now because it looks like it's going up? If you had $100, you'd be a lot better off to buy $20 this week, $20 next week, $20 the next week, something that's called dollar cost averaging. That's your safest bet, especially in the beginning.
Hey, what's new is scary, but
Later, you're going to look back and go, why was I so scared? I mean, this is a lot of fun.
the old traits of new money are at the top of the list.
Well, there's nothing quite as exciting as a live concert, but buying tickets to some of the biggest shows is an expensive and sometimes frustrating endeavor. So we spoke with a StubHub insider for some tips on how to score seats and save some cash.
Live music's coming in hot this summer, and stars like Motley Crue, The Weeknd, and Kenny Chesney are are at the forefront of some of the top tours of the season.
The amount of demand that we're seeing from fans in general for live events.
And nothing should get in the way of a good time. Adam Budelli, spokesperson at StubHub, takes the stress away from the ticket buying experience with some helpful tips.
It's important to make sure you're using all the technology at your fingertips to ensure that you can go to every show that you want to.
First, make sure you use a trusted service.
From the get-go, make sure you're starting at the right point of sale to make sure that you're getting the right information at the right time.
Your selected service should offer 24/7 customer service and a 100% refund in case of any cancellations. This info can typically be found in the About Us section of each website.
Be careful, do some research to ensure that you have a great experience this summer.
And once you have your site of choice, know when's the right time to buy.
What we certainly recommend is buying off of what we call peak hours. As a tour gets announced, obviously that's going to be the most in demand and the prices typically tend to be the highest. You wait a couple of days, sometimes prices can essentially get a little bit lower.
Or look for tours that'll happen in one city more than once, which can also bring down the cost of a single ticket.
If one artist is only coming to, let's say, Los Angeles, and no other within 250 miles, that typically will have a higher price point because you have a lot of people wanting to come to that one event.
Finally, a reminder to not post your tickets on social media.
If you are fortunate enough to have a ticket to your favorite artist this summer, make sure that you're protecting your barcode. There are a lot of scamsters out there that search through social media looking to steal an image of your barcode to resell it.
Then I want you to sing along.
Because as exciting as it is to see your favorite artist live, sharing a pic, specifically of her ticket, can wait.
Keep it safe and secure in your phone, and then feel free to share those photos once you get into the arena, into the stadium, or into the small venue with some other pictures of the event.
Those are your inside tips on how to score the best tickets for an upcoming concert.
Going into a car dealership can be a nerve-wracking experience, and it's even more difficult when the choices are few and the prices are high. But don't give up. There are alternative ways to buy. Teresa Strasser's introducing us to the world of auto brokers.
Buying a car can be an agonizing stress fest, so wouldn't it be great if there was someone to take care of all the gnarly details?
You don't have to worry about the hassle, heartache when it comes to purchasing a vehicle.
John Parsky, general manager at Auto House in Tempe, Arizona, shares 3 reasons why you should save yourself the headache and use an auto broker. For starters, auto brokers eliminate the dealership experience.
Does an auto broker essentially absorb the part of the experience that's very stressful?
So all their data actually tells them that you're going to buy a car within 12 to 14 days. So the goal at a big box retail store is to keep you there as long as you can, so you just kind of break down and say yes.
I go in there, and when I leave, I feel like I'm leaving a casino. Like my eyes are adjusting, and I feel drained, and I don't know what just happened.
Our goal is to have you in and out in under an hour. So everything as an auto broker is done ahead of time.
You've already talked about your wants and needs and what you're looking for with the broker, whether it's a new car or used.
Whether you want to do it off-site, whether you want to do it at your office, bring the car to you, do it over the phone, getting everything pre-approved, whether it's financing, if you're paying cash, how you're titling the vehicle.
Plus, you'll have already seen the car and test driven it.
So literally you walk in, sign, and you're in and out in 45 minutes. You actually should enjoy purchasing a vehicle and not dread the process.
Next, auto brokers are more personal.
We try to look at it as not a transactional experience, but an experience that you use them for life. That we, in essence, sort, find, and try to find something that fits someone's needs and actually builds more of a family type relationship.
I assume it's helpful for you to know more about the car buyer than just what exact car they want. What helps you to know?
The true auto broker is going to look at your needs and wants. What fits your family best? What are you going to use the vehicle for on a daily basis? How long do you plan on keeping the vehicle? Because we want to find the best vehicle for you and not just make sure that we make enough money on you in one time.
The cost of going through an auto broker is specific to the vehicle, so you may pay a flat fee or a percentage. Bonus, it really pays off if you trade in a vehicle.
We're going to give you a lot more for your vehicle because we don't have 200 employees and we're not a big box retail store. So net, you're typically ahead.
Finally, auto brokers have pocket listings.
How would you define a pocket listing?
It's a vehicle that isn't listed online, isn't for sale, and it's a vehicle that we know we could probably get in the right scenario.
So if I want a car that's hard to find, or hard to find at a certain price, an auto broker might have access to that via a pocket listing that a regular citizen just isn't going to have.
Correct. These aren't going to be listed online. So whether the client hasn't decided to put it up for sale yet, or it's listed for sale on all your traditional sites, we can either call that client or reach out through our connections to get that vehicle for you.
Auto brokers breaking down the best deals to buying cars.
Still to come, as the list is right on the money. How to talk to a financial planner.
There'll be all these little administrative fees and maintenance fees.
Plus, how buy now, pay later impacts your credit score.
If you miss a payment or if you don't make your payments on time, you will be assessed late fees, interest charges.
And
ours was the work of something greater.
Why the return to Middle Earth is so expensive.
What you see on screen is the result of thousands of people's hard work and long hours.
Next on the list.
Welcome back. One way to be right on the money is to say no to all those added fees that come attached to a lot of transactions.
Yes, things like convenience fees, recovery fees, facility fees, activation fees. I mean, the list is endless.
That's a long list, and it's time to put a stop to all of those extra costs.
So let's look at some of the stupid fees. That's right, I said stupid fees you shouldn't have to pay.
It's a fact we all have to face. Some things we want or need come with unavoidable fees, but there are some fees that are just plain cash grabs.
You go to a restaurant, you look at the menu, and it says hamburger $10. You say, okay, I'll have the hamburger. And at the end of the meal, they hand you the bill, and it's $11 because they've thrown a kitchen appreciation fee or an administrative fee.
Jeff Summers, contributing writer for Lifehacker.com, shares some ways you can stop getting nickel and dimed. For starters, look out for ATM fees.
Everyone's been in that position. For some reason, you need some cash.
So you pop into a convenience store.
You get in there and you put your card in, and it pops up and it says, we're going to charge you $5 to take your own money out of your account.
Then when you check your bank statement a month later,
you find out that your own bank charged you $3 because you took money out of your own account.
Luckily, there are a lot of banks that don't charge ATM fees like Citibank and Lending Club.
So you should definitely shop around for a bank that doesn't charge ATM fees. And there are even banks that will reimburse you if another bank charges you an ATM fee.
If you want to flex your spending muscles a little more, give gym initiation fees the squeeze.
If you've ever tried to join a gym and they say, okay, we'll set you up for your $40, $30, $10 a month, whatever it is. By the way, there's a $50, $95 initiation fee to get you started.
But he says there may be a way out of those if you want to play hardball.
A lot of times, even if it's a fancy gym, if you say, well, that's ridiculous, I'm going to walk away and go someplace else,
the salesperson may feel the pressure and just waive that fee.
It's always worth asking. The worst case scenario is they say, nope, sorry, we can't waive that fee, and you're stuck with it.
Another sneaky add-on is a retirement account maintenance fee.
When they send you your statements at the end of the year, there'll be all these little administrative fees and maintenance fees and stuff like that tied in there. People get intimidated around money, and people think, oh, well, these are experts.
This can make you more accepting of these types of fees.
What you're forgetting is that these guys are making a lot of money off of you because they're already taking a chunk of the profits.
That's how they get paid for managing your account. So check your statements for any fees you don't understand.
And ask them, what is this fee? Why is it there? Can it be removed?
If they don't offer to remove it,
shop around. Go find somebody else. Go to another financial institution.
Find one that will negotiate.
And say, okay, I'll waive all these fees. We don't need to charge them. I will just take a straight cut out of the money I make for you, which is really how it should be.
Set yourself free from fees and keep more green in your pocket. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, friends. Today on the watch list, a lot of critics are saying The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power is right on the money. And guys, it should be, considering it cost Amazon $250 million to get the rights and a lot more to make and release it. So Teresa Strasser talked to the cast about what it's like being part of the priciest TV show in history.
This could be the beginning of a new era.
The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, debuts new episodes until mid-October, the same time the cast begins filming the second season in the UK.
3, 2, 1.
This show is Amazon Prime Video's most expensive to date, and the premiere was their highest rated. We caught up with the cast who gave us an inside look at what it's like to work on it.
What you see on screen is the result of thousands of people's hard work and long hours.
Commander! Wait! No! We keep moving!
The showrunners and the directors who are more visible, but then the stunt people and the set people, the costume designers, the drivers who were part of it as well, just getting us from A to B.
They literally built these characters from the ground up and were so passionate and positive and supportive of us. I'm really excited for people to see their work on screen.
I think the scope of the show is massive.
And that massive production team had a lot to do while filming.
I just see a sea of 500 people. You're looking at what individual jobs they had, like how was the lighting, how was the costume, how was this, how was that, how was the wind blowing, and the, you know, all of that stuff. So, and then it was just like, and cut, and then all of a sudden everyone was just like, okay, yeah, so we're gonna go and do, yeah. And I was actually like, whoa, okay, this is the job that we're on.
Finally, with a $1 billion 5-season commitment, there will be much more explored.
We invite you to experience the second age of Middle-earth.
Well, we're set thousands of years before the movies.
You get to see characters you've met before, but also characters that are created wonderfully.
We have hours to explore Middle-earth. That is exciting for me.
This is the time where the characters and species that we know and love become who we know them to be.
In this show, something can happen in a split second that changes everything.
And it's built on universal themes that we all understand. Good versus evil, love, heart, how much you're willing to journey into the darkness in order to achieve the good, you know, things like that.
Each of us must decide who we shall be.
You can watch The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power on Amazon Prime Video now.
Fight with me.
The highly anticipated, most expensive show of all time on the watch list.
See, I remember way back in the day, you were considered fringe if you were like super into Lord of the Rings or comic books, and now look, they're billion-dollar mainstream franchises.
What's the saying? The geeks shall inherit the earth.
Something like that.
Yeah, probably. Coming up, friends, we used to call it layaway, but it's back and bigger than ever. That's next.
Welcome back. There's a new billion-dollar industry in town that's right on the money if you're looking to buy something that's out of your price range for the moment. It's all about dividing the price into installments so you can take your time paying it off. Let's take a look at the financial phenomenon called buy now, pay later.
Buy now, pay later. It's the modern day version of layaway without the waiting.
When you make a purchase through buy now, pay later, that item is yours immediately.
Shazia Verji is the GM of Credit Services at Credit Sesame, and she's answering all your biggest questions about this new way to pay. Starting with, what the heck is it?
Buy now, pay later is a payment plan that allows consumers to make a purchase and then pay for it in short-term installments. And so you can reliably know when your next payments are due and be able to budget out your money in order to make those payments.
And most major retailers offer buy now, pay later, or BNPL plans, both online and in person, at stores from Sephora and Target to Best Buy and Bed Bath & Beyond. And the best part?
The payments are interest-free, but the catch is that if you miss a payment or if you don't make your payments on time, you will be assessed late fees, interest charges, and if you don't end up paying back at all, your amount could go into collections.
Okay, so how does it actually work?
It's very easy at the point of sale in order to sign up for the program.
At checkout, you'll see the offer to break up your purchase payments through a buy now, pay later provider, like Afterpay, Affirm, or Klarna.
The most common popular payment plan is Pay in 4. So essentially, you have 4 equal installments that you pay back your purchase, and it could be any purchase, everyday purchases, or large purchases such as furniture.
Most Pay in 4 plans require the first payment at the time of your purchase. Then you'll make the next 3 payments every 2 weeks. And your approval is almost instant, and it's not all about credit.
There's no credit check involved, so it's not going to impact your credit score.
So now for the biggest question, is buy now, pay later for you?
So there's 44 million credit invisibles in America today. And credit invisible means that you don't have a credit history or credit profile with the credit bureaus.
Wherein lies the catch-22 of the credit system.
It's really hard to break into the credit system when you don't have credit. And so this is a great way for those types of consumers to get started on their way.
The major credit bureaus are already working on adding payment plan data to customers' credit profiles as early as this month.
And that may, help or hurt consumers whether they're making their payments on time or not.
But according to a study by Equifax, consumers who pay on time have the potential to raise their FICO score by 13 to 21 points. But no matter what, always read the fine print.
And know your options before you check out. Do your research so you know what you're getting into, and make sure you know what you're signing up for and what you're committing to in terms of your repayment schedule.
We're learning how to buy now and pay later.
So interesting. Jimmy, have you used any of those buy now, pay later deals?
No, because they actually don't offer those at estate sales.
Imagine that. Only you could take that into even more frugal territory.
What could I tell you? That's my superpower, KG.
Truly is. Friends, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Monday on the list.
Turn 5. Hey, okay. Yeah.
Dance your way into this workout.
Boom, boom, boom. That's so good.
And get an insider's guide to real estate listings.
This trundle bed seems kind of small. Jimmy, that's quaint. I can't sleep on quaint.
Plus,
as you wish.
Why The Princess Bride is a timeless fairy tale. All that and so much more Monday.